I often find myself with extra time while he's playing. Now he's at the age where I can't leave him alone outside to play because he might get into something he shouldn't be. Oh wait, isn't that any kid at any age? Well, he's so little, he's 2.5, and he's at the age where I just have to stay with him so he doesn't, one, run off, two, get into something he shouldn't. And so I just have to keep an eye on him. But many times I find myself just sitting outside with him. Yes, I play with him. Yes, I hang out with him. But there are times when he goes off and he explores a little by himself in our fenced-in yard. And I'm just sitting there. And many times I will pick up my phone and I will get on social media and scroll and scroll and scroll. And that just is pointless to me when I've seen that stuff already for the day. So, and then there are times when I sit there and think, oh, I just wish that I could be doing this or that I could be doing this. Now, I know that sounds horrible, but I also know that I'm not the only person that feels that way. So I'm pretty sure that you may feel that way too. So when you're outside with your child, or maybe you're inside with your child, I want to share some tips with you, some productive tips that you can do and things that you can work on while your child is playing. And then you can feel fulfilled that you got something accomplished that needed to be done, or that felt good to you, or you just got something productive done. Because as moms, sometimes we just need to have some productive things done to feel like we made it through the day. Am I the only person? Maybe it's just me. Maybe not. Let's jump right into the tips. So the first tip I have for you is to journal. Now, I have found through the years that journaling is so healing for me. I've gone through hard times when I just wrote down all my thoughts and feelings and journaled through that. And I've gone through happy times where I've written and journaled through that. And so this season of life is a season with my son Dalton. And the way I'm journaling right now is I journal to him. And we have this little book, and it's just a plain, boring little book, but it's I've written on the inside, Mommy and Daddy Remembers. And I'll just write down funny things that he says, things I remember, or just stories that I think he might want to read when he's older. So that's one way one thing I can do outside when I'm outside with him and he's playing and he's in his playhouse. I can journal. The next thing I can do is clean out the photos on my phone. If you're like me, when you're taking pictures, you've learned that when you're taking pictures of your little one, you've learned that you need to take multiple. So I just keep going and going and going. And I find myself with 20 of the same picture and only one is good. And so I need to clean out the rest of them. So that's the way you can do something productive. You can clean out the photos on your phone and free up some space. So another way I have for you is to listen to a podcast. I'll take my phone outside and the podcast that I listen to automatically load when the next one's coming, and I can just listen to that. And if Dalton needs me, he can come over and I can hit pause and he can tell me what he needs. So I love that. I can also listen to audiobooks. Now, I don't listen to too many audiobooks. I'm more of a podcast person. And the two of my favorite podcasts that I've listened to in the past are Your Move by Andy Stanley. He's a pastor and he's an awesome presenter of the gospel. And then I also listen to Chalene Johnson's Build Your Tribe, and that is more for entrepreneurial moms. So if you're an entrepreneurial mom, you should listen to that. I highly recommend those two. Now, the next thing I have for you is to menu plan, grocery plan, your grocery list or to-do list. I don't like menu planning myself, to be quite honest, but it needs to be done. I know that so many times I just hold stuff in my brain and it needs to get out. And so like a grocery list, I'll think, okay, what do I need to have? So if you have time to just sit there and think, go ahead and write that down, or you could use an app on your phone. I use the notes on my phone for my grocery list just to make it easier for me. So go ahead and write those things down. And then along the same lines, you can brainstorm or do a brain dump. For me, since I'm a work-at-home mom, I like to dream ahead into the future and for future projects that I'm working on or things that I need to do or people that I need to contact. And so I can write down on a list, okay, I need to contact this person, I need to do this and this and this, and I can just get it out of my head. This also helps me sleep better at night when I write all this stuff down. So brain dump or brainstorm and get that stuff out of your head so that you can free up, I know it sounds crazy, but free up brain cells. Because ladies, we have so much going on in our heads. We're thinking about taking care of our family, what's the next meal that we're preparing, what are we gonna do, where are we gonna take our kids the rest of the week, or just so many gazillion different things that we have going on in our brain. So just dump it out, get it out and write it down. And the next one I have for you is to read a book. I like to read. I'm more of a nonfiction girl, or I'm a fiction girl, because I like to just jump into the story and get taken away for a little bit and get out of my normal, and it just helps me mentally. So reading a book, you can definitely stop doing that. If your kids need you while you're outside, you can put the book down and answer their question or go help them with whatever they need. Now, a few of my favorites of the fiction, definitely Dee Henderson. She's an awesome writer, author. So check out her books. Some of the nonfictions that I've read is The Best Yes by Lisa TerKeurst. That's an awesome book. You can check out Fervent by Priscilla Shirer. And then another one I recommend is So Long Insecurity by Beth Moore. So those are all books that I highly recommend that you check out. Now, the last thing that I have for you for a productive activity while your kids are playing is probably the most important, especially for ladies that work outside the home. And I want to encourage you to just hang out with your kids, to love on them, to let them see you watching them. They need to see you watch them play and to get into stuff, and you can cheer for them and say, hey, I saw you do this. You did a great job. Just look up at the clouds, and just think of all that the Lord has made. So that is very important for us to just be while our kids are little. And I know moms that are farther along in their journey or have older children always tell me, enjoy your children while they are young. So as you're doing your productive activities, I know I've given you a list of plenty. Remember to just be. So those are the little tips that I have for you today. I hope that encourages you. I hope that reminds you that you're not alone. If you feel like, oh, you're sitting outside and you think, man, I wish I could be doing this. Just know that you're not the only one that feels that way. I may be the only one that says it out loud, but there are other moms that feel that way. So be encouraged. All right, that's all I have for you today. I will see you next time.